Jon, you are meticulous about everything. What are your top tips for keeping the house tidy?
Oh, good, nice. Well, first and foremost, never love anyone or welcome them into your life or home.
Well, you've got a wife and child.
Oh,
now.
I've made a mistake, yes. You asked me what the tip was, and I would say, with hindsight, put your cleanliness ahead of your happiness. So don't have any pets, don't fall in love, don't have friends, keep your door locked. Then have a good clean around, sit down, don't move. Failing that, tin foil in the bottom of your baking trays, your grill pan, and you do it in the bottom of the oven as well. And then you have a pizza, a bit slides off. Instead of burning, stinking the house out, you've got to get the oven cleaned. Take the foil out, put some more foil down. So that, either no love or foil.
Sorry, I just slightly lost the will to live halfway through that.
You've got to double fold it, I didn't mention that. If you just put it in a fan oven, pop a little baking tray on there or some baking beads or something, just to weigh it down.
Baking beads?
Baking beads, you know, your ceramic beads.
Ceramic baking beads?
No, these are made-up things.
You've got to blind bake your pastry for your flan.
What?
This is basic.
Even I know about baking beads.
Do you?
Yeah.
How did you not get the bake-off job? You would have been an excellent pair doing that.
Which one? Yeah, but one has to be the light-hearted, fun one.
That's you, Sean. You're the knockabout
And I
crazy.
can do all the innuendos. Like that Claire looks like a cock.
I mean, we're going to need to work on that, but it's a great idea.
Stick it in your gob. Stick it in your gob. I could do that. I could do that all day long. That donut, tell you what you could do with that donut. You could get Paul's knob and shove it in the donut hole. What about that for like? That's the wrong. So I've got to scale back from there.
Yeah, well, that's...
Just to go, oh, lovely hole on that donut.
Jon, have you got a mascot?
Yes, I have. It's the next phase of the sexually explicit franchise that I've launched. I've already made a sexy film and a sexy book. So now I'm launching Deep Clean, the magazine. It's a sexy...
That is properly from a service station, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly the market we're going for.
Oh, looks fantastic.
People who need to pull over and have a bloody good game of volleyball on their way from one destination to the next.
Are we OK to show this on television?
Yeah. Woo! Hello there, guy in an apron. So it's £2.50, which I think is quite reasonable. And we have big features each week. So here we have Sopping Wet and Gagging for More. We review the UK's top mops. This is one of our regular correspondents. I polished his helmet till I was sore. Confessions of a Firefighter's Cleaner. And we've got the regular features, so page 3 every week. Pair of soapy jugs. Mop that up real nice. Clean that. This week's big guest feature is an article on golden showers. And then each week, obviously, we've got the classified ads, so you can send in. We've got our own abbreviations. WLTM, would love to mop. GSOH, good suction on Hoover. And Dirty Magazine wouldn't be a dirty magazine without a centrefold, so here's a little something. Look at all them alphabetised DVDs. I won't show it too much, because they'll be going off across the nation. But that's available in all fictional garages up and down the UK. That's Deep
Clean magazine, everyone. OK, Jon, have you got a mascot?
Yes, well, it's a chance to plug my latest project. I've written an erotic novel based on my own life.
Oh, God.
It's called Deep Clean. Do you like to hear some?
I mean, I'm a fan of erotic fiction.
All down the street, they could hear the screaming coming from the bathroom. Harder, harder, she cried. You'll never shift that lime scale like that. In the dimly lit bathroom, he stood naked, except for his clothes. Holding in his hand his pulsating, wet toothbrush. All clean, he declared, scuttling into the bedroom. That smells nice, she purred as he emptied the bottle into his hands and began massaging the soft flesh of her shoulders. Good, he said, and it's also killing 99.9% of all the bacteria on your back. Good old Carex.
You haven't written this, you've remembered it, haven't you?
When he'd finished, he stripped off slowly, making 2 neat piles of light and darks. Are you going to tie me up, she asked. No, he laughed sarcastically. I'm going to let you wander around the house willy-nilly while I'm trying to do the hoovering. Available in my garage.
Oh, now, John, have you got a mascot?
Yes, I have, Jimmy. I've been married a year now.
Oh, congratulations.
I know.
No, but think of her.
It occurred to me that I've nailed it. I'm really good at it. So I've released a book to help other people who might not be as good to be around as I am. And it's based on the old adage. My book's called How to Be Jon Richardson in the Parlour, Jon Richardson in the Kitchen, and a Whore in the Bedroom. Brackets, not really, Jon Richardson in the bedroom too. And it's a sort of everyday guide on just how to sort of think and behave, really. So there's a lot on tan dryers that you might find in pubs. Pros and cons of the best hand dryers are, of course, if you want to see the fat on your hand ripple. The air blade, of course, which changed it for all of us, but now they get that well in the bottom of dirty water that you don't really want to touch. There's,
Although, if you put a bay leaf in it, transforms it into a lovely consommé.
There's sort of how to walk down the street guide there, so sort of how many points you would get for standing on each crack here. You've obviously got 3 grids here, so you'd have to make sure if you stood on the first 2, you didn't stand on the 3rd one.
Genuinely, is that what you would... walking down that street, that's what you would do?
Well, what I would do in this street, Jimmy, and I'm glad you asked... I would use this middle line here. I would just walk down that, and then I know if I can... I mean, it's quite a long stride for me, that. But if I can hit a crack each time, I know when I get to the end, I'm fairly even. At worst, there'll be a crack in or a crack out, but I'll leave it at that. Obviously, it comes with a few... You've got to sort of try and flood the market, haven't you, to get the sales. So I've got a year's supply of condoms, or as I call them, rubber johns. There's an extra supplement as well on how to load the dishwasher. We're still quite a long way behind as a society on that one. And that's my book.
How to Be Jon Richardson, everyone. Rod, have you got a mascot?
Yeah, I've messed up a bit, though, because I brought a mascot that I thought would wind John up and throw him and psych him out and completely mess with his head and put him off for the whole game.
Right.
Yeah, and then it backfired because I got put on his team.
Well, we have to see the mascot.
Well, no, we don't.
It's part of the show.
I know it's part of the show, but fuck it.
Well, let's have a look at it.
Well, but it's going to mess him up, and he's on my team.
Oh, he'll be all right. He'll be
Well,
fine with this.
the one
I don't think
thing
he'll
I
even
know
mind.
would mess with his head, like, really bad was just a really untidy, disordered cutlery drawer. Well, we need...
You've given me something to do there. I'm already so excited at just what this is going to look like by the end.
John, when you lived in a flat with Russell, what was the worst thing you ever did to your flatmates?
Oh, well, that would be the time that I got so tired of cleaning the flat that while they were out, I tidied the flat and then left them an itemised bill for my time at minimum wage. You know, I didn't want to overcharge the guys, but, you know, it's important they learnt that this shit doesn't happen for free.
OK, now, John, you used to live with our Jon Richardson, didn't you?
Yeah, I lived with John for a year.
And is there anything we can do to help?
When we first met John, he was living in a bedsit in Bristol, and may I just say, it was the cleanest bedsit I or Avon and Somerset Social Services have ever seen. Then we moved in together, a group of comedians, into a shared house. But John was... I'm not quite used to sharing yet. So there was a negotiation about mess in which we would sort of go about our normal routine, and Jon had these...
Just be careful. Let's just have an anecdote for an anecdote deal here.
All right.
You tell this story, and then Daddy will tell a story.
Are you now referring to yourself as Daddy?
I have a child. It's now legally accurate.
So you'd get these little... Out of nowhere, you'd be doing something, and a little northern passive-aggressive commentary would start up. So you'd be in the kitchen, and suddenly this voice would go, "Oh, right. Is that where we keep the Cocoa Pops now, is it?"
Where did we used to keep the toenails, Jon? Did we used to... Oh, no. I'll give you a clue, Jimmy. Oh.
Sorry, where were you putting your toenail clippings?
Cutting his toenails into the mugs.
Speaking of mugs...
Oh.
Jon once, in a fit of pique, was very frustrated with himself and, like a lot of us do, wanted to take that out on a mug. However, what Jon brought to that was he was so worried about the mess it would make, he wrapped it in a tea towel first.
Jon, you got a mascot?
Well, it's more a way of improving all our lives, Jimmy. I've been looking at the health and safety regs around this building and this show, and having looked, I'm amazed we're not all killed on a weekly basis. This is a death trap, this building. So I've done my training. I'm now a fully approved health and safety officer. So if you'll permit me to go around, I've got my my health and safety high-vis cardigan. That I wear around. I do mainly old people's homes. These are great, these. I make these myself, and they've cut road deaths in the over 70s by 40%.
Oh, my God.
You can...
I hate to say this, but that really suits you.
Thank you. So I've been having a look around. This is the first problem. This is like sitting under a guillotine every week. How sharp that point is. And that swings round onto my head. No, it doesn't come near you. So I had no choice but to provide myself with a hard hat. So that's not a problem anymore. Then I Googled, and this is a true fact, if you have more than 10 or more employees, you are legally obliged to have an accident and incident logbook. And I've never been shown ours. And I know you've got probably 10 or more staff, so I've got one for you as well to just have at the house. Next problem is you, Susie, with that death trap in front of you, the dictionary. We all know how easily a paper cut can happen. So I've got you some oven gloves, if you don't mind wearing those, just at any point where...
Okay.
That was, who thought I was going to get that on the desk? Oh,
Right.
a shot. Oh, I feel so masculine. Rachel, you've got quite a lot going on there, so it's good to get some exercise, isn't it? Some safety goggles there, just in case anything sort of falls off or comes near you.
Very masculine run, Jon.
I can show you. That's my.
Your sachet.
These things are bloody dangerous, aren't they? You never know. You're having a drink, and then all of a sudden you put your cup down and.
Oh!
So I got everyone a little sippy cup. Just to make sure,
Countdown sippy cup.
And then finally, looking at the statistics on how many panel show comedians are killed each year in chair-based falls. Absolutely shocking. None so far. But I'm not going to be the first, so I got myself... Let's count down.
Jon Richardson, everyone.